Westchester doesn't have book fees this year.
Really?
All of Wayne County schools got free book fees.
How'd they do that?
State thing.
Well, that's awesome. Did not know.
I don't know about trail yet. We don't go back till next week.
Oh, okay.
What the hell?
Well,
right?
did you see like the flood that was going on at not Sierra Richardson? My God.
Centerville.
Yeah, but it's not Centerville. It's the
Hamilton.
other Rose Hamilton. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're kind of tentative on when they're going to go back to school.
I really don't know where this is going to go.
What?
Oh, I mean, I've got an idea. I sent everything to you guys, but I mean, literally.
I didn't read
All right.
it.
Well,
Well, then there you go. I have no
I read
idea.
it all.
Did
No,
you?
Yeah.
you know
You
me.
take over.
I was like, there's no way I'm reading this. Then I'm going to be too prepared.
No, I think, yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. All right. Welcome to the After Two Beers podcast. If you're watching us live currently, we greatly appreciate you tuning in. This is going to be an interesting show. It's basically going to be the same thing that we normally do with the Am I the Asshole, Gibbler's stuff, and the news and casual conversation. But other than that, I really haven't prepared any of this. We're going to see how it goes. Debbie Burdett, thank you so much for joining one of our Patreon sponsors. You know what, Debbie? Your Patreon, we thank you so much. If you IM us your address,
Yes.
we will send you all of our stickers. So greatly appreciate you being a member and hanging out with us when we record these. So it actually means a lot to us. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Are you guys ready to get going?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Tim Kendall, hello, buddy. What's up? Appreciate you jumping in. We've launched a bunch of shows over the last few weeks on the audio side. So we're actually caught up now.
All right.
100%. It's just to keep AJ and JP's buddies at work off my back. They like to wear me out because we don't update the audio soon enough anyway. All right. I think we're about ready to go. We're going to see how this goes. Cross our
right.
fingers. Fingers your teeth. All right. All right. We're just going to go with it. This is how it goes. 3, 2, welcome to the After Two Beers podcast. I'm Dutch Dalton, joined as always by Kimmy Kebler.
That's me.
And the man, the myth, the legend, Michael Puddin Summers.
What's going on?
What's up, buddy?
Hey.
Coming up on this week's show, we are going to talk about the brawl at Montgomery.
Oh,
man. I'd love to get people's opinion on this, especially if you're watching this live.
The chair was a star.
Oh my gosh, man! That guy thought he was just going out to hang out on a boat that day, and he caught a felony charge.
Right? Yeah.
Like, talk about a totally didn't see that coming kind of moment in your life. In the Am I the Asshole? It's a delicate balance of being a friend and giving somebody a hookup, and then actually trying to live your life and make a living.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody wants
What
a
are we
hookup.
talking about? A hookup? Like, are we talking about like
I'm not talking about
chicken house or?
No, I'm talking about if you own a house and you're gonna rent it to a friend, do they expect you to pay less because they're your buddy?
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
People always want a handout.
Gotcha.
All right. And we have Gibbler's Giblets, as always.
Giblets.
And then we will get into the A to B news. We're going to talk about arguably one of the worst people in the world, people that abandon dogs. I can't stand them.
what?
Horrible.
People are assholes, man. Road rage ends up with two guys spray painting each other in the face.
I love it.
It's so good.
Spray painting each other.
A genius marketing or a parking meter QR code scam.
That is brilliant.
It's going to happen a lot more.
Yes.
And lastly, a man just west of here went on a 4-day bender and set his own car on fire. Yeah.
Do we know him?
It's no. It's a
okay.
suburb
I don't
of
think so.
Anderson.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, we'll talk about that coming up. If you haven't watched the show before, basically what Gibbler and Puddin and I do is we have a couple drinks.
Yes.
And we pull off all of the constraints that keeps you from being PC.
A minimum of a couple drinks.
The whole goal of the show really is to have conversations like you would actually have, because we have no regulations. The FCC does not control us. You can say whatever you want on a podcast. It's a lot of freedom if you think about it.
It is.
Yeah. If you get a chance, check out our podcast. It's called our webpage, rather. It's called after2beers.com. That's the number 2. You can find links to give us a tip. You want to throw a little tip in the tip jar? You like the show? We would greatly appreciate that. You can also sign up to be one of our Patreon sponsors. A great thank you to all of our Patreon sponsors. It honestly, at this point, it only costs me $1 a show a month because of the Patreon sponsors.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's basically breaking even. We get to do these things for free. But if you'd like to join, we'd greatly appreciate it, because nobody pays for the booze except for us.
We buy the booze.
Yes. So, but thank you again to all of the Patreon sponsors. So I want to make sure we thank our buddy Kevin Shook, who has this amazing studio here, East Studio at Global Media Enterprises. And if you want to do a show, or you're looking to, he can do on-site audio, on-site video. He can do a lot of your social media needs and things like that. So check out our buddy Kevin, and he can help you out with that.
Absolutely.
And this might be an interesting show. We just saw lightning.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So
Might be a quick one.
yeah, what's unique about the studio is we're actually in an old building that is pre-1900s.
Yeah.
It's going to be hit first if lightning strikes. So.
And there's a thunderstorm moving through, which we need the rain anyway. But there's a tree growing in the side of this building.
You got to keep
Which is kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
If it gets taller, it can provide shade and sit underneath it. We could do our podcast under the tree that's growing out of the side of the building. There's also an axe place upstairs, but there's no air conditioning. So I'm a big dude, and it's hot and it's muggy in the Midwest.
Maybe in
this
the winter
fall,
time.
this
we'll
fall
get it
it'll
this fall.
be fantastic.
That's a winter. That's definitely a winter activity. Anyway, all right. I think without further ado, unless I've missed something, because I totally went off my memory. Help me out here. You think I missed anything?
No.
Ah, sweet.
No, did we talk about stickers?
The stickers. Thank you. There you
Okay.
go. Actually, our buddy Lee just bought some as we were sitting here.
Thank you, Lee.
Yeah.
Thank you,
If you
Lee.
go to our webpage, we have 5 or 6 stickers, and I'm getting ready to do another one. So. Or print one. I don't know. The Macho Man maybe. Or,
Ooh.
you know. Anyway, we'll see.
Yeah.
You can get those on the webpage. All right, let's jump into it. How many viewers do we still have left after that? I do that. I don't sell ads, and we're not sponsored by anybody. If you'd like to sponsor us,
Absolutely.
we do get over 1,000 listens a month, and
Natural light.
we're getting about 700 views a month. So there you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're doing not so bad. And a lot of it's here local, so there you go. All right, are you guys ready to talk about the brawl that happened in Montgomery?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen the video yet, it's all over social media. I'm sure you're going to see it soon enough. Basically, from what I understand of the story, I wasn't there, nor have I researched it a whole lot. But apparently, there's an area on a river that has some hotels, and they have some river boats and things like this. And then obviously you have other boaters that are enjoying the river. And that contained a boat that looked like a pontoon that had a bunch of people on it. And they had pulled over and had docked their boat in an area where...
You should not dock your boat.
Well, maybe you can, you know. But so I'm thinking what's happened here, just basing it on the video, is a gentleman that works for them, works for the hotels, comes up and tells the people in the pontoon, hey, man, can't park there. Need you to move the boat. And apparently the guy in the pontoon says,
F you.
Yeah, well, fuck off. I am going to park right there.
Nah.
And I'm sure it went back and forth.
Yeah.
And then the guy that was driving the boat struck the man that was working there.
Yep.
And then at that point, the two men started to fight.
Yes.
And we'll start there.
There was a hat flown in the air.
Oh,
That's the guy that worked there. Yeah. That's when you knew it was on.
that. You know what? That's
It's about
like,
to go down.
Yeah, it's about to go down. Here's my thing. Up until that point, that fight was fair. It shouldn't have happened.
Right.
The guy that swung on the guy working there should have. This is a guy that's probably been out in the water all day,
A little liquid courage.
had a little too much to drink.
Yeah.
You know, he
Bush
was.
lattes.
Oh, he was 8 foot tall and invincible. You know,
He
one
had
of
a
those
bulldog
deals.
mouth and a puppy dog ass.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he swung on this dude, and he connected, and then they started to brawl. So at this point is a man-on-man situation, at which the guy that was driving the boat, or was in the boat, rather,
Yeah.
The pontoon guy.
the pontoon guy, he was some of his entourage, his co-captains of the
jump
day.
in.
They jumped in.
Salmon colored short
Right.
guys.
Yeah.
And so they started fighting on this guy. And then what made it interesting is we got to go there. It's the reality of the situation is people started immediately realizing that it was I don't think it was intentionally race-based
Right.
at the beginning. I really don't.
Right.
I think it was probably just a dickhead in a boat
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that just felt entitled as hell and
oh,
that he
that's
could do
definitely
whatever he
entitled.
wants.
Yeah.
Right.
And he swung on this dude who happened to be black.
Yeah.
And I don't think he swung on him because he was black. I think he swung on him because he told him what to do and he didn't like it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because he was a
Right?
bitch.
Right. So then what happened was the guy in the boat had a bunch of white friends that came over and they started beating on this dude. And they were
Yeah.
beating the shit out
Yeah,
of this
yeah.
dude. Right?
Yeah. Wasn't it fair?
Well, and that is where the first part of the problem starts. I saw one white guy come over to try to break it up who got hit. Mm-hmm. And then I saw another black guy come down to try to also break it up.
yeah.
Right? And these white guys are still wailing
Still
on
wailing
him.
on him.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, let's be straight. In that situation, the white people are the minority. Okay? And so I'm sure there were a lot of people on that boat and along that dock that are like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't care what color the guy is. This is bullshit that what they're doing.
Right.
And so
Yep.
because it was a predominantly black area, it was predominantly black people that jumped in, I think, to help this dude. Would you all
Yeah.
agree with me so
Oh, yeah.
far
I
on this
agree.
situation?
Yes.
And then it was on. It was one of the best brawls I've ever seen.
I thought I was watching WrestleMania, honestly, especially after the chair broke out.
Oh, yeah.
Were you laughing when you were watching it? Or were you sad? Or
I was just trying to figure out what was going on.
I was
what
just,
happened.
yeah. Like, I don't know. I just, there was some comedy to it, but then there was like the, oh shit.
You know what?
moments.
I gotta say, and we're gonna get into the not education. They just in talking about it.
Yeah.
The thing that I thought was really interesting, one of the things I picked up on first, nobody fired a gun
Yeah.
That was awesome.
on either, right? You know, it's sad that we've got to that point in the United States where, like, man, nobody shot a gun.
Nobody
shot
shot
anybody.
anybody.
That was awesome.
That was
That's
great.
amazing.
Not one person
Good
was
time.
killed.
Still, it shouldn't have happened, but these people, I don't.
Right.
Here's the second thing I've learned. Apparently, no one in Alabama can throw a punch. I didn't see one person catch a fade. I think every person.
They're all run from that chair.
Like, there were no uppercuts. Like, I don't
that's
know.
just
They
bad
must not have
fighting.
had
That
older
is
brothers
bad
like I did.
fight.
Well, I'm telling you right now, it was piss poor fighting.
It was piss poor fight.
Those white women were getting their asses handed to them and were still conscious.
Well, they had it coming.
Oh, I'm not saying they didn't have it coming. I'm
no,
saying
I agree.
I'm
I,
saying-
as a woman, say that I agree because you know what? If you go up and square up on a man like that,
I'm not even talking about that. They were getting beat up by other women. I'm
Yeah.
just simply saying either the women can't throw punches or these women had fucking chins made out of stone.
Yeah, right?
Because they were absorbing them, man. And then it was so funny. I think it was one of those points in life where they always say that a wise man learns from their own mistakes. And I say bullshit on
Yeah,
that.
right.
A fucking genius learns from somebody else's mistakes.
Right.
And I hope a lot of people watched that and said, you know, I'm not going to just swing on some guy on a dock anymore.
nah.
Because my whole family and everybody may just get the tar beat out of us and we get arrested.
You get arrested. Yeah.
in your broken ass Crocs. Did you guys see the guy? His Crocs that.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
bless those Crocs.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's the whitest of shoes. I mean, could they have been beat up wearing anything more white? I got to tell you, did you see the guy swimming?
Yeah.
Yes.
That must be what black people look at white people when we're dancing. And we're like, what the fuck is this?
He was ready to help out.
No, I love the man's integrity.
Yeah.
It was a young kid, 16
Yeah.
years old, and he sees an injustice.
Absolutely. Jump
But
right in.
yeah, you know, I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? It's true.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he was moving his head back and forth too much.
He's no Michael Phelps.
No,
He was no Michael Phelps.
And nobody on
He
that
didn't
dock
have a
was
joint
Mike
hanging
Tyson
out.
either.
Nobody
No.
was Mike Tyson.
Oh my God. So, anyways, my favorite part of the whole thing, too, there was two parts. It was when the younger guys finally got confronted at the end of the dock, and they both just jumped in the water.
They
Like,
knew they
okay.
were wrong.
Well,
Yeah.
right. Well, and they're like, I don't, it's like if you get
The
attacked by
water's gonna
killer
be-
bees,
yeah.
you're going to jump in the water.
Yeah, I'm allergic to bees. You know.
Oh, and then my second favorite part was the fact that some guy just said at some point, you know what this fight needs? A fucking chair.
A chair.
And I'm
Gotta bring
just
the chair
going to
out.
swing
Do it.
on it and swing on it.
I don't care who's in front of me. I'm swinging the chair.
Debbie Burdett mentioned try that in a small town video has been kind of mocked. But you know what? I actually that video or that song actually captures exactly what happened in
Right.
that moment. You came in and tried to act a fool, and you
And
know,
you got shown.
yeah. Well, you know what that was? That was what happened in the 1800s, man. That's called getting a receipt. You know, that's what they call it in wrestling.
Getting a
Like
receipt,
you,
yeah.
you hit somebody stiff, they're gonna give you a receipt, and those
Yeah.
white folk got a receipt.
They
It's also
definitely-
called street justice.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like
It's also called fuck around and find out.
that's
Yeah,
exactly
exactly.
right.
Fuck around and find out.
As
That's
Dave
exactly.
Chappelle would say, that's when keeping it
fuck
real
around.
goes wrong.
Oh, idiot.
Yeah, again, I just say that I'm happy that no one pulled a gun. And honestly, if the first guy, the white guy, had swung on the black guy, and the white guy was at fault, and if it had just ended between the two of them,
All
then-
he had to do was move the damn boat.
well, nobody would have
That's
even
the
talked.
thing.
We'd have never
Move
even
the
heard
damn
about
boat.
this story,
No.
right?
Just move it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you know what? People are fucking dicks, man.
Dude. Anymore.
Everything is
Everything's
like
about entitlement, man.
Oh,
I
man.
promise you this.
Oh, it's so much. Everybody's social warriors, and they expect people to back down. And I
Right.
guarantee you that's what happened
Oh,
in this
yeah.
situation. These are
I
probably
would
I'm here.
almost-
I'm in my boat. I can do what I want.
I mean, I can just say probably from experience, somebody on that boat was like, "It's all right. I know the owner."
no.
Let me talk to the manager.
I wonder how many times the word "in" was said. In
I doubt any. I think they would have had a lot more real punches thrown if that had been happening.
well, it probably happened on the boat before they got there. It's. That's hey man, I'm just keeping it real. I saw. You know what's wild about this too, and this ought to give people pause if
Yeah.
you really want to act a fool. They found these people's social media already,
Yeah.
and they had pictures of them out on the boat
Social justice.
drinking their White Claws.
Yeah.
They got their receipt. All right, there you go. You know what, man? Just keep your hands to yourself, and life ain't so bad.
Move the damn boat.
There
Move
you go.
the boat.
All right, are we ready to have some fun?
Yes.
Yes.
That was our talk about that fight. I got to come up with a sticker of just that chair.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
And it just says fuck around and find
Great,
out.
right? Great chair shots in history. All right, Giblet, are you ready for the giblets? Oh, that lightning is
Ooh, that
close.
lightning.
Light.
I almost sounded okay. Let's do this. I was gonna say there's some thunder.
Yeah, it is.
All right, where are we gonna start here? Okay, let's start out with haunted houses.
Okay. I love
Yeah.
haunted houses.
You know where you go and you think that you're gonna envision or you're gonna see something supernatural,
Yeah.
whatever.
Do you go to haunted houses still in
You
your
know
mid
what?
40s?
No, because I think they're kind of hokey.
Now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and especially
You?
after reading this.
I'd like to. I haven't been in forever.
Really?
Yeah.
There's always that one like, man, you got to go to Ohio, but they're allowed to touch you. And if you
I
make
don't
it
want nobody to touch me.
right,
Come
and
on.
if you make it all the way out, you get your money back.
I don't-
The haunted hospital.
But you know what?
yeah, Missy. Yes, we do.
every once in a while, somebody breaks out that chainsaw, and you're like, "Do they really work here?"
No shit, you're more likely to get hurt walking downtown
Okay.
nowadays than going to a haunted
Yeah,
house.
that's the truth.
That's a possibility. All right, so many haunted houses have been investigated and found to contain high levels of carbon monoxide or other poisons, which can cause hallucinations.
Yeah. You know what I also know is there's not a high level of? It's teeth. Because I got to figure if you're working at a haunted house in the fall.
Like a carny. Well, where do you think a carny goes?
Right? They're out of fairs.
That's where carnies go in the fall.
Oh my God.
It's their off-season work.
They're like, ooga booga booga.
Booga, booga, booga.
So anyway, the carbon monoxide theory explains why haunted houses are mostly older houses, as they are more likely to contain aging and defective appliances.
Well, it's kind of fucked up. I mean, you could die.
Right?
They're death traps.
You're like,
Death.
oh, I'm
Well,
hallucinating. That's why I'm scared.
People
but
died in there, so yes.
What about the carnies that are working in there all night long?
I don't think they're affected at all.
Oh, yeah. That's a lead
they've
paint
smoked.
eaters.
They've smoked higher toxins.
Right. They're like, I could barely see the syringe in my arm. Because it's dark.
Oh my God.
Well, and they're on carbon.
Ah! All right. We were talking about some wrestling moves and such.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that former WWE star Dave Bautista concealed inhalers under wrestling rings to manage his asthma during matches?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, he wasn't really that good, so I don't know.
Much better actor.
Yes.
Much better actor.
How do you let the other guy know? I'm like, hey man, I need a puff. Hold
I'm
on.
gonna go under the mat
I'm
real
sure
quick.
he's probably going. I don't think there was a whole lot of signs about it, but
Oh man, nothing throw off a match like I need my inhaler real
Right?
quick.
Hold on real quick.
All right, that's a good one. I didn't know that one.
Okay. Axl Rose, Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. Indiana boy.
He once postponed a Guns N' Roses show because he was watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze.
I believe it.
You're right. That
He
dude
didn't show up to
care.
half of them.
That guy didn't care about his fans.
Hell no.
This was just that one time.
And those early TMTs were pretty decent. It's
Yeah.
when they got later, like, I don't know. Can
you imagine putting off a bunch of fans?
Didn't
Because you're
Bieber
like, oh, crap.
delay a show to play video games? Justin
don't know.
Bieber
I
was
believe
playing
it.
video games and delayed a show because of it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Adam Green says those guys on the dock should have asked for an inhaler break
Oh, shit, man.
right before the chair hit.
They-
So, okay.
I just love the fact. Can I go back to
Go
that
ahead.
one more time? It's like there ain't nothing worse than getting your ass beat than dumped in a dirty river. Just, it was so funny to me. It's like get the fucking
Get in
water.
the water. That's where you belong. Get in there.
And you're still going to get a felony.
Oh man, when you get out, you're gonna be wet in jail. There ain't gotta be nothing worse.
Wet
man.
peck of woods.
Eating some cold ass oatmeal tomorrow morning in your wet ass clothes.
Right?
Wishing you had a White Claw to get over your hangover.
Oh, man. All right. Okay, we're going to stay on the music type of deal.
All right.
So Ola Hudson, which was guitarist Slash, it's his mom. So while Slash was just a kid, she worked at one point as a costume designer for David Bowie.
That's badass.
That's cool.
Right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
But
man.
eventually they developed a relationship, and Slash actually walked in on them once.
Oh my god.
So Slash walked in on David Bowie boning his mom.
Honestly, that's probably the one time you'd be like, "Nah, man, keep doing it. You want me to help push?"
Oh no.
If David Bowie was throwing it to your mom, you would probably tell dudes.
Would you?
And you'd
Would
probably
you go to
ask her if she was under pressure.
Hey, oh my god. That's so,
Sorry. Oh, anyway.
oh man. Anyway.
That was bad. It was so terrible.
But no, I mean, wouldn't you be kind of? I mean, it's kind of like get off my
Right.
mom, super rich guy that could probably hook
Get
me
my
up
mom.
with a cool job one day. Like, let her go
Space
find
boy, get off my
right.
mom.
I want her to find some guy that throws darts.
Short chubby guy.
Right?
darts.
It's follically challenged. I don't know, man. It'd be kind of weird watching somebody throw it to your mom, but I mean, it's David Bowie.
I think I would have allowed it.
It depends on when it
I would've
was
allowed
too.
it.
If it was like in the '80s when he was still wearing the makeup,
Yeah.
you know. I don't know.
I mean, she was his costume designer. I don't think she
Yeah.
she was like worried too much.
Spend a little too much time in the crotch area.
All right. Speaking of crotch area,
Let's do it.
let's do it. So, a Chicago reporter once asked Frank Sinatra's first wife what she saw in him, calling him a 119-pound has-been. She told him, "Well, I'll tell you, 19 pounds is cock."
So he was laying the wood.
Yeah.
he had one of them dicks that had elbow in it.
Yeah. He was definitely doing it his way.
You know what this just proves? Women will put up with a bad relationship for some good sex, and vice versa, probably.
Yeah, right?
Right? Like if you could throw it to somebody pretty decent, they'll put up with a little bit of
A
shit.
little bit. You know what? You're right. You're right.
Am I right?
You're right.
Yeah,
right.
probably.
Have you ever had a relationship where it wasn't the greatest, but they were really good in the bed, and you're like, I don't know, maybe they'll work it out,
Well, let's stick around for a little bit, see where this goes.
right?
Never.
Lies,
No.
pure lies. All right.
All right. Let me see. Do I have any more here?
What do you got?
Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Jared Hess had a $400,000 budget for Napoleon Dynamite, relying on the generosity of the locals of Preston, Idaho to provide housing and food for crew members.
And Tina.
Right?
And Titty Fat Lord.
John Heater was initially only paid $1,000 for starring as Napoleon.
Wow.
That's crazy.
$1,000.
That's like $995 more than I've made off this podcast.
Well, that's true. I mean, we're kind of in debt, dude.
That's
due to
kind of
the
cool,
podcast.
though. Like,
That's
so what did he
awesome.
get
But
out
yeah.
of it?
$1,000.
No, did they
But-
give him any rights as far as like? Because that's how.
That I don't know. I mean, surely there are because I mean, it's probably it's probably pretty up there as far as one of the most quoted movies.
Oh, it's definitely a pop culture.
You can't
hit.
eat
Yeah.
tater tots without being like,
Give me one of your tots.
"Eat your tots."
I'm telling you right now, it's just a matter of time before the NFL season starts and somebody's quarterback goes down, and there's going to be an Uncle Rico.
Uncle
meme.
Rico meme somewhere. Absolutely. Uncle
For
Rico
sure.
everywhere.
Uncle Rico everywhere.
Throw it over that mountain.
It's such a good movie, man.
Have you seen the TikTok where it actually has Uncle Rico doing his moves, and then it was like, your Kansas City Chiefs quarterback,
Patrick
all my
Mahomes.
homies. Yeah, he was doing like some of the same moves, and they're like, "Ooh, Uncle Rico taught him."
Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico.
Rico got all
I
the
just remember he was selling Tupperware, and that lady's like,
Run that over.
I want that boat. It's like if you order a certain. Anyway, now we're doing. This
Yeah,
is like
but-
that thing that happens in bars that everybody else is like.
Start
"Come
on one subject.
And then move on, Dalton. We don't want to hear. We've
How did we get there?
We've seen the movie. We don't need you to recap it. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick pause, but we're going to stay live. So I need a beer.
Okay.
Gibbler, do you need to use the restroom?
No.
All right. You need a beer?
A beer.
Can we get a beer? I'll tell if you're watching this live, I'm going to cut this out of the audio, but
I need a napkin.
this is why you keep your Funkos in the case.
Yeah, no kidding.
Gibbler's involved. If you're still how many viewers do we have? Kevin.
Anywhere from 9. Well, right now you got 9. You had 15 earlier. But
All right, cool.
Oh,
All right.
quite a
we
few.
lost some.
All right. So on the 9 that are watching us now, we used to do a thing called Shit Pan.
Napkins, please.
When we would do a live show, and we basically allowed the audience to ask us anything they wanted to ask us. And as we wait for this to be cleaned up and we start our news stories, does anyone have anything that they would like to ask us?
I do.
Yeah, perfect.
All right.
Get it started for us here.
What does the fox say?
What does the fox
I think
say?
it said.
Do the
Not right. Is
listeners
that how it
know
goes,
what that? Do the listeners know what kind of brought that new sound clip on.
I don't
Did
know.
we say anything about it?
I have not.
So we have Blink camera at the house, and it had been a long day of a bunch of us girls golfing, and I got dropped off and walked up to the Blink camera and just started. What does the fox say? Tick, 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 tick. Yeah.
What does the fox say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
see it.
So there it is. That is what that is.
Oh, interesting. Was that off the Ring Bell?
That is. Yes. So JP shared that with our producer, so now he has that as a sound clip.
Yes.
Any questions? Or otherwise, we'll just jump right into news. All right, we're good.
Okay.
All right. We used to get the weirdest questions, Puddin'.
All the time.
Oh, you don't even know. It was bad. All right, here's our first story, and this goes out to some of the people that are, I think, some of the absolute world's worst scum. And I mean it, too. A woman was flying out of Pittsburgh last Friday morning, and she was heading on vacation to some resort. And she had her 7-year-old French bulldog with her.
Okay.
She tried to claim the dog was an emotional support animal, but it wasn't. So they told her she would have to put it in a crate. She apparently had done zero research and was just pushing it in a stroller. But instead of dealing with it, she just abandoned the dog in
Are
the
you
parking lot
serious?
and boarded the flight.
What a
Shut
bitch.
up.
Right?
Fuck that.
She'd had that dog for 7 years. Well, we assume 7 because it's 7 years old.
Yeah.
And just like, fuck it, man. It's
good.
all
Trash
inclusive.
human. Trash human. For what?
All
Do your
inclusive,
research.
right.
Oh, an airport worker found the dog in the stroller near short-term parking.
What the
At
hell?
5:30 in the morning, she left some food and water, but the worker said the dog looked very sad. Dog should have been the happiest it's ever been. It's
Apparently,
like,
yeah. I
Yeah,
would have
no
been happy to
shit. Get away from
bitch.
that heifer.
Yeah, right.
Thankfully, it's okay. Police took it in and got it to an animal shelter. They found a microchip, but weren't able to get in touch with the owner.
No, she's
They're
on
on a
vacation.
plane.
Right? Cops say she'll likely face abandonment charges when she get back, which could be up to $1,000 fine, which is less than the price of that dog.
Can we just abandon her there?
Oh well.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the story does have a happy
I
ending
hope
though.
a shark bites her.
The shelter that's taking care of the dog say they had already gotten a ton of calls from people who want to adopt it. Probably puppy farms. That's pretty popular.
Obviously, nobody wants it, so we'll go ahead and take it.
Oh my, that's horrible,
That's
man.
bad. How could you do that to a dog?
I-
Just
you
leave it at the airport.
I'm going to tell you right now, you can learn a lot from somebody that's mean to animals. I don't even
Right.
care if it's their pet. It could be, like I saw the other day, I'm just going to throw this out there. It kind of makes me sad. There was a kitten that had been run over in the road, right? And so there's a dead kitten. And instantly, as a human, as at least me, I'm just sickened by it.
Yeah.
And I keep thinking, there's no way that someone was driving that didn't see that kitten coming across the road.
Right.
Either they ran over it on purpose, or they're looking at their phone, or whatever. But
Yeah. Purposely aimed for it.
I have no love for anyone that's mean to animals. It's just
No.
my thing, man. Just kidding.
What
In
about
the
the
arms of an angel.
I'm going to tell you right now, if I saw that white dude swing on a dog on that dock,
Oh, I would have
it's on.
I would have been swimming too.
you'd have
got-
seen
he would've
my
got two
swimming.
chairs.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I'd have tore up his boat.
Get
too.
him.
All right, here's our second story. There was a road raid incident in Texas last Friday.
Did you say road raid?
Road rage.
Road rage.
Road rage. You know, honestly, right in the middle of reading that, I kept thinking, would you call the other thing a boat rage? I think it's a boat
Absolutely got
rage,
to.
right? Water rage.
Yeah.
All right. It was a road rage incident in Texas last Friday, which allegedly started because a guy was distracted by his phone and was swerving all over the place. Let's just call him John for the benefit
Yeah,
of the
okay,
story.
we'll call him John.
He John also didn't notice when a light had turned red. The guy behind him started honking at him because he had gotten mad. Let's call him Chad.
Okay.
All right, Chad and John. John started throwing objects at Chad's car. The two vehicles stopped, and John got out of the car with a can of white spray paint and spray painted Chad in the face. And
Why did he
then,
have spray paint?
well, it was probably he's probably huffing it.
Yeah, that's
Right,
true.
yeah. He's on his phone huffing it.
He's on his phone looking for more spray paint.
Yeah, right.
Ordering it, pre-ordering it from Walmart.
I don't know.
Or
Maybe,
finding out about a dog that got left.
oh, maybe. Yeah, he's like, man, I had a long day. I had to tag so many bridges, and this guy was waiting too long at the light. So I tagged him in the face.
That's it. I'm on him.
Oh, apparently Chad got a hold of the white spray paint. When the police showed up, both guys were painted white. Here's a picture. You guys can't see this online. You can look this
Oh,
up.
I love it.
Oh, he looks like Farva when they
Yeah,
threw
yeah.
the powder on him.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
Super Troopers. He goes, it's sugar. It's delicious. This dude's got to go to jail like that. Do you think they... Look, his eyebrows look amazing.
His
by the way.
eyelashes are all like frosty.
Right? Look at that. He looks amazing. He looks like he's getting ready to go to like
David Bowie
one of them
concert.
Let It Go concerts, you know.
He got that makeup.
Apparently John was the one who got arrested and was charged with felony criminal mischief. So
Okay.
just a lesson out there: if you get busted, just pull it over and you get in a fight. Don't
How
pull
about
out
you
spray paint.
Move your boat and don't spray paint anybody.
It's a little
God.
shit,
Life
man.
lessons.
Life ain't that
Little
hard.
stuff.
Life lessons.
All right, here's our third story. And this is genius to me, and I'm imagining this is going to happen way more.
Oh, it's got to.
Apparently, there's a new scam where thieves are replacing QR codes at parking meters and parking lots with their own codes.
Yeah.
Sending your money to their wallet. So
Venmo.
you're walking up.
Yeah.
They can design the webpage to look exactly like whatever it is. And then you shoot them $5 to park in that parking spot
Yep.
for 2 hours.
God, how
And
smart
it never
is that?
goes.
And they get a ticket anyway.
Sitting around,
Yes.
you know what?
It's kind of genius.
Yeah, that is. Like,
I mean, you
sitting
would
around
think
thinking of that.
you could trace it back to whoever started the web page, but if you can't,
Yeah.
it's genius.
Right.
It is pretty smart. A lot of people didn't notice because QR codes often send you to random forms where you pay, and people just trust that's the right portal because that's what's on the sign.
Mm-hmm.
Authorities say you should use credit cards to pay directly using the machine or meter whenever possible. And if you do use a QR code, to check the URL that you're sending it to and be wary if it's a vague URL or shortened link.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I will say
it's smart.
paying with a card's nice because my bank, I'm sure you work for a bank, you know, if you see a fraudulent kind of
Yeah.
they're like,
Stop it.
did you buy something from Leather and Lace in Singapore? And I'm like, yeah, AJ and I are trying to,
that and a can of spray paint? We're
right, we're trying to
spice
keep it a
things
little
up.
spicy. Oh, it sounds like this could be a problem in private lots and public ones. It's interesting. I would think here locally, Richmond's, a smaller city.
Yeah.
And this could be something that locals could see eventually. It's just a little
What,
QR
parking
sticker.
meters?
No, QR code to pay for something, and then you're
Right.
not actually getting what you think.
Yeah. I'm surprised we don't have parking meters.
No, you just have a 2-hour parking time limit, I think.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
think it's 3 hours in most of the areas,
Ah,
but
okay.
yeah.
I appreciate that. Adam, I wonder what we have to do to get parking meters downtown.
Yeah.
You want them?
Right.
Jeremy Screddy, my three favorite people. Love you guys. We love you too,
Love
buddy.
We love you,
You.
French Indian Moore.
You know, it's funny. Adam talks about getting parking meters downtown. When I went to Ball State, I think my freshman or sophomore year, there was a story because I got my car towed.
You know how many times I got my car towed?
I
man?
got it
Twice.
towed. I got it towed once. I got it ticketed multiple times. You know how bad it is for a college kid that makes no money? That
Right.
you have to go spend $200 to bail your car out,
Get
and
your
they
car
put a
out.
fucking ticket on the window before they towed
Yeah.
it.
Well, they just
Yeah.
had to pay the damn meter.
No, it wasn't that. It was
Parking in the wrong spot.
Yeah, it's the wrong
Oh.
spot. It was. It doesn't matter for the show. But anyway, the Ball State University, I think, was making more money off their parking than downtown Indianapolis was
Holy
because they
smokes.
just ticketed the hell out of
Yeah.
you. Just yanking
Every
your cars
day.
out. Yeah. All right, here we go. This story is from Middletown, Indiana. This is just a little southeast of
close.
Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is right up by the gambling place. So,
Okay.
A 32-year-old guy in Middletown, Indiana, is facing charges after he went on a 4-day meth bender last week. And believe it or not, he
4
got a
days.
little paranoid.
You think?
Yeah.
That
4
his teeth
days.
look
4
swollen?
days. Wow.
Yeah. I can tell you this. I feel bad for this dude because right now in Indiana, it is the prime season for corn on the cob. And based upon this guy's
Yeah.
line of work, he probably couldn't eat cream corn out of a...
Straw.
Oh, his name is Shay Erlandinson. He did a 4-day. He did meth for 4 straight days.
God.
He must have been buying good shit then.
That's dedication.
Well, it just it probably didn't have a job. He's probably off.
You think?
Probably went on vacation. You know, the funny part is this guy. I think he works at a haunted house in the winter.
Oh my gosh.
I don't see why. He's carnival. It's carnival
yeah.
time right now, man.
Yeah, right.
Fairs.
he must not have made the state fair cut.
It's an off week. It's an off week.
Oh, anyways, he was on meth for 4 straight days and didn't sleep at all, and he hallucinated that, and I quote, a tiny man was hanging out in his car. So he tried to scare the tiny man away by setting his own car on fire.
That usually does it for me. I mean, get out of here, tiny man.
Right?
Try to light him on fire, but whatever.
Oh,
Isn't
man.
this the plot for, like, Chucky? Like, Child's Play? I want to
Still
know
got
what the
Johnny
tiny man looked like. I wonder if it looked like
Right.
that little diet Dr. Pepper dude.
Little sweet.
Little Sweet was hanging out in his car. He's like, get out of my car, Little Sweet.
Oh my gosh.
Thought process. You know what? I'm gonna get some gas.
Little Sweet,
Light it.
if you don't get out of here, I'm going to burn you.
I'm gonna burn you. I'm going to get you.
He probably tried to smoke you.
Oh, it happened.
Tried
Right.
to give him the crack right.
Right.
Here you go. You want some of this? Yeah, maybe he'll see tiny people too.
It happened last Tuesday around 6 in the morning. By the time the cops got there, the fire had already spread to a nearby barn, and the whole thing went up.
Oh, nice.
I'll tell you why, because he's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah. The one cop was asleep somewhere in a cemetery, hanging out in his car.
Just some good old
I've heard
boys.
in a small town.
In a small town.
In a small town. This is what happens in a small town, really.
Yeah, this is what
Old boss hog.
4-day meth benders.
4-day meth benders.
Luckily-
Lighting your car on fire.
Adam Green says sometimes you just have to commit to what you're. Hey, that's what I'm
Absolutely.
saying, man.
Right.
You know, when you're in the zone, you just stick with it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Luckily, no one was hurt. Hurt. I just. Yeah. Oh man, I felt like Peter Brady right there.
well, his balls finally dropped,
Nobody
everybody.
was hurt.
Oh baby, wait till I get home. It happened. No one was hurt, but it caused over $60,000 in damage, and that's a lot for.
It was the barn.
It had
It wasn't
to have
his
been,
car.
right?
Wasn't a car.
I wasn't worried about his car.
I don't think it was his car. That was all barn.
I wonder if it had the T-top still in it.
No,
Not
he
my
sold
sister,
them.
not my
How do you think he
sister.
got the crack?
This is the kind of car that has a sticker on it that says "Ass, Grass, or Ass." Nobody rides for free.
It's a shagging wagon.
Right? Goat ropers need love too. He told cops that he poured a small amount of gasoline inside the car and lit it in order to quote make a boom and
Make a boom.
and scare the
It
tiny
made a
man away.
Make a boom.
It made something all right.
Oh my gosh! I love the so stupid.
Oh, God.
He's like, I'm just gonna set a small explosion inside
I
my
just
car.
want to scare that little guy.
I'm just trying to scare him, man.
Right. I wonder if he ever saw him get out. They arrested him for arson and also found meth. Well, clearly.
Well,
And then he tried to grab a rifle from a police car.
was he going to shoot the little guy?
Yeah, man. I hope it had a scope on it.
Oh, God. How else you going to see a tiny fella?
Right? So they added a charge for trying to disarm a law enforcement officer.
Enforcement.
And, yeah, I screwed that up. He's facing up to 12 years in prison. He can hang out with the little man in there. At least he'd have a friend.
Damn the little man.
Do you ever have the tiny man jumps up on your shoulder?
No.
Like the good and the bad, like in Animal House?
I don't drink
It's all
that
bad.
much.
It's all right.
It's all bad.
And they're all drunk. All right. Well, I think, for a show that we put together pretty last minute, I think, did you guys see these? These are new pendants that are coming out
I have one
Chairs.
already
of
coming.
chairs. Yeah. That's amazing. I think we need to do a chair. It's just a matter of
it's a
time.
chair.
All right. Well, I greatly appreciate everyone that stuck by us watching this live. And thanks again to all of our Patreon sponsors. Thanks for doing that for us. And if you like the show and if you thought, hey, man, I'd like to give them $1, I've got $1. It's $1. You can just go to after2beers.com. Again, that's the number 2. And there's a little tip jar. You can just throw the tip in, just the tip.
Just a tip.
Yeah, just the tip.
My
We're good
favorite
with the tip. If you tell me you love me, you can put the whole thing in.
I want to take it slow, buddy.
You can also support us on Patreon. Thanks again to our buddy Kevin Shook here at East Studios with Global Media Enterprises. Again, I think Kevin has got some availability to still do a few shows. He's real busy. It's filling up in here fast. So reach out to him, especially if you've got some drone footage you need or any of that kind of stuff. He does a really good job. So make sure you reach out to Kevin. And, we say it at the end of every show, and it is without question the most important thing we say every week, and it is this. If you see someone that's struggling, they probably are. I mean, you think they are, but it's happening. Yeah. People are struggling. Life's not easy, and we all go through our moments unexpectedly from time to time. So if you see someone out there that you think, hey, I probably ought to check in on them, you should. Yeah. Just reach out to them, tell them you love them, tell them you appreciate them, ask them how their week was, how their day was, or just say, hey, man, I don't know if you've been doing all right or not, but if you need something in life to get you up, there's this podcast called After 2 Beers.
Yeah.
You can come hang out with us.
I noticed you're on a 4-day bender.
Right?
Before you see that little man.
tiny
Not
man.
set your car on fire, bro.
Let's have a little talk, buddy.
Oh, man. Jeez, that's crazy. Little sweetness. Little sweetness. All right. I guess without further ado, Puddin', Gibbler, we will talk to them all next time.
After 2 beers.